Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With the permission of the Majority Leader and Minority Leader, I have a resolution that I'd like to introduce.
Proceed.
And I'd also like to request that we adjourn today in memory of my father.
Proceed.
Thank you very much, everybody, for this opportunity to address this sacred chamber. It's always a privilege, no matter how many times it happens. Today it happens to be for a very sad occasion. On a Saturday morning, a few minutes prior to 7 a.m., I woke up to a vibrating cell phone and several missed calls. The kind of messages you don't need to listen to know that your life is about to change forever. A lot of words and emotions have passed through my mind since receiving a phone call on Saturday morning that my father had passed away. Perhaps the most appropriate word that I feel like I can grab onto at this moment is gratitude. I am grateful that for as many things that will change in this world, my foundation, my identity is rock solid. I'm the son of an extraordinary man, the son of an immigrant from the Dominican Republic. I'm grateful to all of you, those of you who've reached out to me, the hundreds of people, including many people in this chamber who've reached out to me to extend words of support, condolences. Some of you, like Representative Shanley, shared bad jokes and bad words, but all of it is welcome. And make me laugh, make me appreciate it. Even though I've served in this chamber for 6 years, truth be told, I still feel imposter syndrome sometimes and wonder whether I truly belong. But after this weekend, I truly feel more than ever that I am part of this big, wonderful, sometimes functional family. My father was born on October 22nd of the year 1960, 2 weeks before President-elect Kennedy stood on the steps of City Hall here in Providence on the eve of his election. My father was born to humble people. His mother was a domestic servant. His father was a tailor who moonlighted as a trumpet player and bestowed upon my father his love for music as well. Neither one of my grandparents had the opportunity to learn to read or write. Neither one of them had the dignity of having a birth certificate or knowing their true date of birth. And yet even still, my father, who was the 6th of 12 children, had an unyielding commitment to progress, commitment to working hard, to sacrifice. Those values led him to immigrate here, America, Providence, where he arrived on March 31st of the year 1979. An 18-year-old, rail-thin immigrant with not just $1 and a dream, but an afro and a pair of bell-bottoms. He learned English, like so many immigrants do, by immersing himself in American culture. His favorite TV show was Three's Company. His favorite artists included Bill Withers, Billy Joel, and the Bee Gees. His favorite basketball player was Julius Erving, or Dr. J. Like so many immigrants, my father began his career working in factories, including a place called Esposito Jewelry, that I believe some of you will know very well. After 10 years of low-skilled labor, he had the opportunity to own a small business, a nightclub on the west end of Providence called the International Club, or as we call it in the hood, El Internacional. My father's club was not just a nightclub. My father's club personified him. It was elegant. It was professional. It was the place where adults went when they wanted to feel and listen to and dance to the music of the old country. My father brought many artists, many musicians, including people like Mark Anthony, to Providence. And it was a place that became one of the most important cultural hubs in the Latino community. Because of my father's club, economic development spurred all over the city. Salons would be filled on Saturday because people had to look good. Record shops, before we had the Apple Store, people actually bought and sold music physically, would sell his tickets, and small businesses prospered. My father sponsored Little League teams, basketball teams, beauty pageants. He supported so many institutions that still stand today, like Latino Radio, Poder 1110, and civic organizations like Quisqueya en Acción that still host the Dominican Parade on every second Sunday of August for 38 years in a row. Not coincidentally, the same amount of years that I've been on this planet. In fact, Representative Hull, I believe I've seen you marching in that parade a couple of times.
Well, yes.
And many of you here as well. My father touched too many lives to count, too many stories to tell, and I can only hope to try to scratch the surface and do justice to the legacy that he left on this earth. Sadly, in the year 2001, after 13 years of success at the nightclub, tragedy struck and it was destroyed in a fire. Overnight, my father and my family lost everything. However, he persevered. And less than 2 years later, he completely reinvented himself and became a very successful real estate agent, not only helping families to acquire their first home and home ownership the way he had as an immigrant, but also inspiring a generation of young people to unlock generational wealth. My father had 6 children, of which I'm fortunate to be the oldest. All of us went to college. 2 of us became attorneys, and 2 of us served our country in the military. If there's one regret that I have, is that I never got to introduce him to all of you. For all the things my father loved, baseball, community, politics might have been his biggest love. He inspired people to get involved, inspired people to vote. He shelled money out of his own pocket so that different community activities can take place. He was selfless, and he believed in something bigger than himself. He was tall, dark, and handsome, and sometimes a little bit too charismatic, and somebody who we could all learn a lot from. As much as we celebrate immigrants and their stories, watching my father struggle with diabetes for the last 6 years forces me to think about the other side of the coin. I think about how many young people are in this chamber today who are also the sons and daughters of immigrants. People like Leonella and Karen and Josh, Enrique and Jenny and David. And yes, it's wonderful that immigrants come to this country and work hard and achieve wonderful things and give their children the opportunities to stand on their shoulders. But having lost my mother 10 years ago, a week before she turned 50, and having lost my father this weekend at the young age of 65, I'm reminded of why it is that I'm here in this chamber. Our people often suffer silent battles. And though they worked hard and sacrificed, so many of them succumb to diseases like diabetes, struggle in silence with mental health, and don't have the privilege that we have today to understand the newest developments in science and technology. And so, though I never got a chance to introduce him to all of you, I thank all of you for the opportunity to etch and carve his name into the permanent record of this sacred chamber. May my father rest in peace, and may his memory be a blessing and may his legacy live forever. I'd like to introduce to you two people who are here today to honor him. One of his closest friends, Councilman Franklin Solano, if you can please stand, and his lifelong partner, Jacqueline Perez, as well. Thank you very much for being here and for your support.
You know, Rep. Batista, I knew your dad very well when I was a young fella down in South Side, and I remember the nightclub. From what you just said to all the people here, we know your father. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Thank you. Representative Slater, please.